أعوذ بالله من شر الشيطان الرجيم بفضل الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق وخير المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. مولانا الكريم، إخوتي وأخواتي، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يقول الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه فمنهم من قضى نحبه ومنهم من ينتظر وما بدلوا تبديلا. Among the believers are men who are true to the covenant which they made with God. Some of them is he who accomplished his vow, and of them is he who yet waits, and they have not changed in the least. Sadaqallahu Azim. One of the most rewarding acts of worshipping in Islam, or worship in Islam and other religions in fact, is ziyarah, visiting of a holy place. That being Al-Kaaba Sharifa, that being Al-Quds Al-Sharif, the Dome of the Rock, Vaticans, the resting place of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the infallible Imams, Al-Baqi' and everywhere. The Prophet ﷺ himself even advised his believers to visit his grave after he passed. And he himself used to visit the graves of the loved ones, his wife, Khadija, his mother, his uncle, Abu Talib ﷺ. And he used to visit the martyrs of Uhud, martyrs of Badr and Baqiyah. Although visiting all of the Imams is meritorious and admirable, visiting the shrine of Imam Hussein is highly emphasized. Some school of thoughts may question the validity of these ziyarats and consider them bid'ah and brand those who do these as heretic. Surah Al-Kahf in the Holy Quran tells the story of companions of the cave who were found alive after spending 300 years in a suspended state of animation. Basically, they were dead for 300 years. After they returned back to life and finally died of natural cause, natural death, and the community disagreed over what to do with them, one group said to seal off the cave and forget about them, while others said to another said to build a monument over them so people can visit. إذا يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم فقالوا ابنوا عليهم بنيانا ربهم أعلم بهم قال الذين غلبوا على أمرهم لنتخذن عليهم مسجدا. When they disputed among themselves about their affair and said erect an edifice over them, their Lord best knows them. Those who prevailed in their affair said, we will certainly raise a place of worship over them. From the tone of this verse, it is clear that God favored the opinion to build a mosque over the area where they were buried and people to visit. If some people claim that visiting the shrine of the Prophet or an Imam is a heresy, then they are implying that the Quran is wrong. And there are many other examples in the Quran. The companions of the Prophet ﷺ used to visit the Prophet after he passed, before they left Medina and after they came back, paying respect for him. The question is, why visiting? Why should we visit? Why is that push? It's to renew our vows with them, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to love Allah more, to know Allah more. Because during these visits you ponder, you reflect, and hopefully you can set your priorities better. Even every aspect in our life needs to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of God. Love for Allah, hate for Allah, for His sake. When Satan changed his priorities, he failed, and he fell from God's grace. One day Prophet Solomon saw an ant, and as he was traveling through the desert, carrying a piece of dirt, basically a dust, habit turab, from one heap to another, min jabal latani, in the desert. So he asked her why she was carrying this dust. She told him because someone she loved asked her to do it. Solomon warned her that there was an entire mountain of dirt and dust, jabal turab, and she would kill herself before she had finished carrying it, and then not even make a dent in that pile. She said, "Oh Solomon, dying in line of duty for someone that I love makes me happy." Hence, our life and death should be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in doing whatever He loves from us. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لمين لله رب العالمين. Say indeed, my prayer and my worship, my life and my death are for the sake of God, the Lord of all the worlds. Chapter 6, verse 162. The more you submit to God, the closer you are to Him. This is why the best posture in the Muslim prayer is sujood, prostrating to the head on the ground. When we do sujood, when we prostrate, we convey to God that we surrender. Oh Allah, I humiliate myself before you by putting the highest point of in the most respectable part of my body, my face, on the dust for your sake. مكن جبهتك من الأرض. رسول الله صلى الله عليه. في حديث تاني بيقول له ترب وجهك يا صهيب. Suhaib, one of the Prophet's companions, was trying to deter away from dirt. He said, Tarrib wajhak means push your head on the ground, in the dirt. We tell him, tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we accept everything He tells us. عن أمير المؤمنين عليه الصلاة والسلام, if a person praying knew how much divine grace overwhelmed him in sujood, he would never raise his head up from that position. لو علم المصلي ما يغشاه من جلال الله ما سره أن يرفع رأسه من سجوده. He would stay there forever. So brothers and sisters, try to extend your sujood, especially for the last prostration before you complete your prayer. If it used to take you 10 seconds, take 20 seconds, take 30 seconds. Tell God in your heart that I'm doing this for you. Because I love you. Because you are the source of power. Our hopes do not rest on our parents, on our money, on college, education, our business. No, they rest on Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala, jalla wa ala. Take care of your prayers. That was the last message of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Take care of your prayers. Since we are the guests tonight of Imam Hussein during these holy nights, I ask you, Abu Abdullah, to help us stand before God. We do whatever it takes to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The visits, ziyaras, are one of many means to get closer to Him. Now the school of Ahl al-Bayt emphasizes ziyarah very much, in particular visiting Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. For examples, a few examples. The Imams left us tradition that recommend us to take off our shoes and walk barefoot when we get to visit Imam Hussein. No other Imams had that privilege or that kind of status. Another tradition, and this is touchy. When we finish ziyarah from Abu Abdullah and about to leave the shrine, I ask Allah that we all visit Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Before you leave the shrine, you finish with your ziyarah. Before you leave the shrine of Imam Hussein, you're instructed to say, wa alayka as-salam ya Rasulullah. Imam Sadiq said, return the greetings of your Prophet, because the Prophet vowed he will send a special greeting to whoever is leaving the courtyard of the shrine of Imam Hussein. These narrations and traditions are only found for Imam Hussein. But why? Why all this attention for it, Imam Hussein alayhi salam? The answer is simple. Islam teaches us that the rewards are in proportion to the sacrifice. You give this much, you get this much. You give more, you get more. Since Imam Hussein alayhi salam dedicated everything he had to God, God's reward to him is unlimited. Therefore, both Sunni and Shia narrates from the Prophet that God has given Hussein 3 unique characteristics that no one else has, not even the Prophet himself. He gave him healing in the dirt that surrounds his grave. Shifa min turbat Hussein. Acceptance of the prayers made under the dome of his shrine. Qubul salat tahta qubbat Hussein. And that the other Imams will all be from his descendants. لأن من صلب الحسين عليه الصلاة والسلام. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may accept your supplications and prayers anywhere you are. وإذا سألك عبادي عني قل إني قريب أجيب دعوة. Yes, you can pray and do supplication anywhere, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favored certain areas. Best example is Arafat. What's special about Arafat? Inshallah, you visit Arafat and you see Arafat, just a patch of desert to the physical eye. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Arafat a different property, better place for his supplication, for his servant's supplications to be accepted. And where exactly in that particular spot, not an inch away from it, in that particular spot. Another story, it was narrated that Imam al-Sadiq in some other narration read two places, or Imam al-Qadim, either Imam al-Sadiq or Imam al-Qadim. He asked or hired a man to go from Medina, if it's Sadiq, or from Qadimiyya, from Qadim, for Qadim, to visit Imam al-Hussein in Karbala when he got sick. So let's focus Imam al-Sadiq, let's say he said it. Imam al-Sadiq got sick, so he asked someone, or he paid someone, to visit the shrine of Imam Hussein to pray for him to get better. So this man took that journey, and he was going. He met a friend of his. His friend asked him, "Where are you going?" He said, "Well, my master Imam Sadiq asked me to go to Karbala to pray for him so he can get better." The other guy got confused. This is our Imam. So he went to Imam Sadiq and said, "Oh, son of Rasulullah, you are the infallible Ma'soom alayhi salam. God will never refuse your prayers. So why are you sending a man 1,500 kilometers from Medina to Karbala to pray for you?" Imam alayhi salam replied, "Don't you know that God has special places on earth where he likes to be called upon and where he will respond? One of them is the grave of my grandfather Hussein alayhi salam." Even in the text of ziyarah, we've said it many nights, we read during ziyarah of Abdullah Salam, "Assalamu alayka ya warith Adam, peace be upon you, O Adam, Safwatullah, the chosen one. Peace be upon you, Noah, the prophet of Allah. Assalamu alayka ya warith Adam, Safwatullah. Assalamu alayka ya warith Nuh, Nabiullah. Munkammil. Assalamu alayka ya warith Ibrahim alayhi salam." When we greet Imam Hussein, we first pay homage, pay respect to all of the universal messengers: Adam, Noah, Moses, Abraham, Jesus. This is not done in other visitations to other Imams. Because Imam Hussein, we do this because Imam Hussein represented the message of all these prophets, which that message became entombed and buried during those 3 to 4 hours in Karbala on a day like today. Their message is gone. All of the prophets taught one theme, and thus Islam is nothing new. We love and revere Moses, Jesus, Abraham, Solomon, and David as much as the Christians and Jews do. Definitely. Islam is a continuation of prior scriptures. We do not ridicule any of the previous prophets or scriptures, ma'adallah, absolutely not. However, when it comes to how others treat Muslims, how others treat the Quran and the Prophet ﷺ and his progeny, we see the civility of the civilized nations, unfortunately. Nevertheless, I'm confident that the stance of the Muslims will be victorious, and that the final code of the teaching of God, as given through the Prophet ﷺ, will eventually dominate. But how? Not through violence. Absolutely not through violence. We have the truth, brother and sister. We have an excellent message, alhamdulillah. It makes sense. عرض هالمسج على الريزن تعودك على عقلك وشوف إذا it makes sense or not. We can spread it. We can spread this beautiful message. We can spread it, and then people will accept it. Others do not have what we have. والله اخترعوا بدعة إنه حكينا يقولون نبي الله عيسى عليه السلام توفى. بدعة وعم يجيشوا العالم كله يفوتوا على المسيحية ببدعة. لو عندهم الحسين عليه السلام لرفعوا علم والله وين ما كان. ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. Invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good advice, and dispute with them in a manner that is best. ولا تستوي الحسنة ولا السيئة ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. وين هيدي موجود؟ Good and evil conduct are not equal. Repel evil with that is best. If you do, behold, he between whom and you was enmity في عداوة will be as though he were a sympathetic friend. It's easier said than done. Violence solves nothing. Good proof to that, what happened to ISIS and their supporters and followers. Islam wants us to use logic. This was the approach of the Messenger of God. This was the approach of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He alayhi salam tried to negotiate until the last minute, to the very end. He refused to be the one who would start the battle. On the day of Ashura, Imam Hussein was seen crying. He was asked if he was crying out of fear of death. No, no, he said, I do not fear death. Death is my ultimate aim. I'm crying for this army who came to kill the son of the daughter of Rasulullah, and God will throw them into the hellfire because of me, because of their doing. He was crying over their ignorance. لقد أرسلنا رسلنا بالبينات وأنزلنا معهم الكتاب والميزان ليقوم الناس بالقسط. Certainly we sent our apostles with manifest proofs, and we sent down with them the book and the balance, so that mankind may maintain justice. Justice, brothers and sisters. All of the prophets were sent to establish justice. This is what Imam Hussein stood for. ما خرجت أشرا ولا بطرا إنما لطلب الإصلاح في أمة جدي. I have not risen out of self-conceit and arrogance. I have risen for one purpose alone, to reform my grandfather's community. Now this is an important point. Some of you might not know this actually. Today America is asking our Muslim scholars, شوف الأudacity, asking our Muslim scholars and leaders to rewrite the Quran, to revise Allahu Akbar, to revise the Quran. شوف الجرأة. They promised to make the Quran as a bestseller if only they remove the anti-Semitic verses. In Los Angeles today, they removed the Quran from public schools under the premise that it is an anti-Semitic book. They promised to put the Quran back on the shelves of their libraries as soon as it's reprinted, with no mention of Jews and of jihad. Jihad, which means struggle, such as to build a country or oneself. The minor jihad and the greater jihad. The greater jihad is the oneself, fighting the ill ways of the soul. Imam Hussein did not seek to change the Quran, did not seek to change Islam at all. He wanted to present Islam in its original form, because once Islam is presented in its original form, people will flock to it. Because once you see the light, you don't want to go back to the darkness. In doing so, Imam Hussein gave everything he had on a day like this, on Ashura. Now we have heard the tragic events. We hear it every year. The stories, they're horrific. One must ask the question, what will I give back to him? Now we say to ourselves, we love you, Abu Abdullah. We believe in your stories. We listen to your stories. We cry for them. What can I do in return? We Muslims were blamed for a lot of tragedies that happened in the world in the last 2 decades, in the last 20 years. Mainly September 11 in New York, and another one is July 7th, 2005 in London. I honestly, God, don't blame people for blaming Muslims for that. Because when someone by the name so-and-so with turban and beard come and speak on behalf of God, Allahu Akbar, on behalf of God or Muslims, and claim the responsibility of these acts, how can you tell to an average person that this is not Islam? This guy is wearing a turban. He's an imam to a mosque. So how do we respond to that? We have responsibilities, brothers and sisters. Muslims are well educated, especially in this center. Most hold graduate degrees from reputable Western universities. Hence, one cannot just sit idle and do nothing, for that would be an offense. Shouting and yelling on the streets is not enough anymore, does not suffice. We can initiate dialogue with other people, mainly at universities, at colleges. Now, do not presume or conclude they will not speak to you or discuss the matter. No, we have to tell them the truth, the original form of Islam, the peace, the mercy, the forgiveness, the family, the respect, the community. This is who we are. This is Islam, not how the media portrays it. God has endowed each person with his intellect, that beautiful gift. and with the ability to be a powerful speaker. If you cannot speak because you're not ready, then write an article, or at least give him a documentary film about Islam. Let us designate an Islamic Awareness Week at our center, at our schools, at our universities, and invite the non-Muslims, even the Muslims, to listen. We have to go after them. We cannot just sit around. Now, I'm sure you have seen this, many missionaries at your doorsteps, especially on Sunday morning, your doorbell rings. Two people try to educate you about their faith. You say, oh, please come back, I'm busy today. Or I don't speak English, I speak Arabic. A week passes and you forget about them, that they didn't. Another Sunday comes, your door rings, here they are again. They are not poor or uneducated. It is not like they have nothing else to do, or other things to do in life. They are busy. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are businessmen, lawyers. But they make time for their faith. They know that I will not become a Mormon. But still they want to share their faith with me. But this time when they came, they brought two books, two Bibles, one in English and one in Arabic. I was speechless. They took the extra time to find an Arabic Bible in America and here in Omaha. They are far better than me. I don't remember, I gave my neighbor a copy of the Quran in any language. To our students, contribute towards your faith at your school. You do not have to go far. Do something positive for God, for Allah, for Imam Hussein in your classroom. Now, some of you may have heard the story. It happened exactly last Monday, September 12th, last week. 9-year-old, Wallahi Allah, 9-year-old last week in Australia who refused to stand for the national anthem. Why? Because she believes that the Constitution of Australia does not support her tribe, the Aboriginal population. She believes that the Constitution of Australia supports more the whites than them. So she, 9 years old, she refused to stand. How do I know about this? I heard this on the news here in America, in Omaha. She made the world news. Her name is Harper. I'm not asking you to do something that gets you in trouble in school, absolutely not. But rather do something in love, respect, and belief of your faith, just like Harper did. You can volunteer in our Islamic community. You can volunteer here. Alhamdulillah, you volunteer during Ashura, Allahu Akbar. You can go all in. But what happens at the other 350 days? Now, I'm not talking to everyone. Some know who I'm talking to. Some that I don't see here except during Ashura. Go wherever you think that help is needed. And trust me, help is needed at the center. The Islamic Center can use a lot of help. Islam is strange today because a few people representing Islam are evil. They are misrepresenting Islam. Our Farsi speaking community, I don't see them right now. The center is yours. You're welcome to participate with your own language anytime. Wa alaikum assalam. Now to you sisters, I don't know where to start, wallahi. Our sisters need to step forward. Why do we ostracize the sister from Islamic activities? Actually, we don't at the center. We invite you day and day. If a Muslim woman stands up and says hijab is not imprisonment, but rather freedom in every sense, then her words would echo across the entire campus. They will believe her because she is a woman speaking on her own behalf, not a Muslim man speaking for her. Let that echo in your minds. What are you waiting for? I don't want to convert Omaha to Islam. We don't want to convert America to Islam. Absolutely not. I wish to tell the truth, to tell them what they see does not represent true Islam. This is not the original Islam that Imam Hussein showed, that Imam Hussein died for. The message of the Prophet ﷺ is peace, love, and respect for all people. We respect all human beings regardless of their religion, gender, or race. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. And surely we have honored the children of Adam. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. محمد وآل محمد.
إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. هذه الليلة ليلة الوحشة يا أخوان. هذه الليلة الصعبة، صعبة على الميت وعلى أهله. عظم الله أجر أخونا عبد الله بوفاة أمه اليوم. عظم الله لكم الأجر. جعل الله مع زينب أم كلثوم ورقية بحق الحبيب محمد. The night of the 11th is a very emotional and very special night, brothers and sisters. Now all the nights of Muharram are special, but tonight is different. May Allah bless and protect all of your families. If we lose a family member, someone dies in a family, that being a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a son or a daughter, the hardest night on his or her family is the first night, the night of mourning. They miss his presence, they miss his talks, his smiles. So friends, families come to console the deceased family. بيجوا ليواسوهم يصلوهم يصبروا أهل الفقير على مصابهم. Now we all hear the events of Ashura and get affected by them. We lament and cry as if the events just happened now. Some of us here, Imam al-Hussein is their grandfather. سامحونا سياد. أنا جدي الحسين. How do you think they feel tonight? How about Imam al-Zaman? Where is he now? بأي حال أنت? How does he feel? He did not lose one, he lost all of them. He lost Al-Qasim, Al-Akbar, he lost Amm al-Abbas, he lost his grandfather Hussein. When he comes out, he will say, ألا يا أهل العالم إن جدي الحسين قتلوه عطشانا. They killed my grandfather thirsty. كيف يسلم الإمام؟ كيف يسلم الإمام على جد الحسين؟ شو بيقول له؟ السلام على الشيب الخضيب. السلام على الخد التريب. السلام على البدن السليم. السلام على الثغر المقروع بالقضيب. In the last few nights, we read the tragedy of Karbala. We heard the tragedy of Karbala, the tragedy of Hussein, of his brother Al-Abbas, of his sons and the rest. But no, Imam al-Zaman does not read or hear him. He sees the tragedy. Al-Hijab Makshuf, no veil. He sees everything. When he goes to Karbala to visit his grandfather, he sees the bodies, the martyrs. He sees Habib. He sees Al-Hurr, Al-Qasim, Al-Akbar. He sees Al-Radi'. He sees his uncle Al-Abbas with no hands, an arrow piercing his eye. He sees the head of his grandfather Hussein on a spear. He sees the Sabaya running. He sees the tents on fire, the kids running. Who else does he see? He sees his Auntie Zaina looking towards the Medina and talking to her grandfather Rasulullah, asking Allah to accept his offering. اللهم تقبل هذا القربان لقد استودعت الوديعة. سيدي Abu Salih, this crying tonight is for you, for your grandfather alayhi salam, for your auntie Zaina. اللهم ارحم تلك الصرخة التي كانت لنا أهل البيت. اللهم. So Zainab alayhi salam was asked by her brother to look after the kids, the orphans. So that night she gathered everyone around, and she missed one of Imam Hussein's daughters by the name of Fatima. She went out running home that she could find her. Allah la jarrabna ya Allah, Allah ya ahad min ladna. I can only imagine. Her brother asked her to look after the orphans and she lost one. What was going in her mind at that time? Luckily she saw a man and she asked him if he saw a little girl wandering, lost. He told her where to find her, so she went to her brother's location. She found her niece staying asleep next to her father. She found her arms wrapped around her father's body, her face stuck in her to sleep. So she lifted her, kissed her, and took her back to the tent. That night, Zainab sat outside in the dark, praying, guarding the women, the kids, the orphans. So she saw a man on his horse coming towards them, all dressed up in black. His face is covered. I think he knew. So he came towards her. So she stopped him. وقفت على الباب تحرس الأطفال النساء وإذا بها ترى سوادها قد أقبلت عليها وضعت يدها على قلبها ونادت يرجع يم خيامنا شو تريد خيال يرجع يم خيالنا شو تريد خيال إن كان قصدك سليم ما خلى العداحة اجمعوا علينا وفرهدوا ما في خيامنا شكوى إلى الله سلموا حتى يزرنا كل ما نحينا ما لفى واحد رحمناه هذا الخبر عندك ولا تروعها الأطفال صدت تروع نسوة المظلوم بالليل يتامى فواكه مظلومين ما تسمع الحنة بالمخيم والعويل وإن كان ما يكفيك حتى تدخل تشوف تريض يخلي الحرام تتستر بالجفوف تبكي تحكي وهو يسمع ولا سمعت كلامه من غير نور يلوح ومضيق الفامه كل ما حكيت دمعة على خدات هامه So she stopped him and said, "Oh knight, oh cavalier, I ask you, please stop. The one who's coming toward us, what do you want? If you came to steal us, to rob us, the enemy has left us nothing. They attacked us. They burned our tent. Allah is our only refuge. Oh knight, no one helped us. They hurt us. Please, be kind. There are kids, orphans inside. Don't scare them anymore. There are women, widows, hurt, mourning. Can't you hear them crying? If you don't believe me and you want to see, please hold on, so I can ask the women to cover up, so you can see. تبكي تحكي وهو يسمع ولا سمعت كلام من غير نور يلوح ومضيق الفامة وكل ما حجت دمعة على خدات هامة اما تريد لو انت حيب غوث المنادي يا علي منجي العذراء ناصر محمد الهادي لما سمعها شو قال له أول؟ لما سمعها قال فتتي فؤادي لا تعددين مصيبتك ما تمليحة. يقول لهم صاب اللي صاب قلبك صاب قلبي يا حزينة، تخبرين من شاف المصيبة نصب عينه. She talks and he listens. He hasn't said a word. Every time she talks, he cries. The more she speaks, the more he cries. So she asks, what do you want? Why are you here? And ask our Savior that you reply to me. He said, please stop. Don't say anymore. Your sorrows broke my heart. I can't bear anymore. يقلها مصاب اللي صاب قلبك يا حزينة، مصاب اللي صاب قلبك صاب قلبي يا حزينة، تخبرين مين شاف المصيبة نصب عينه. قالت مين انت؟ قالت منين؟ قال الماء تنكرينا. انا ابوك يا بنتي. أنا بوج بنتي علي ما خف القاء. أبا علي رمت بنفسها على أبيها. أبا علي شتمونا ضربونا حركونا. أبا علي ذبحوا أطفالنا. أبا علي صعد الشبر على صدر الحسين. Don't tell me anymore, please. The sorrows that you got me too, my dear. Don't tell me as I was watching, I saw it happen. So she cried. Well, who are you then? He said, I'm the one you don't miss. I'm your father, Ali. She screams, oh father. أنا بوج بنتي علي ما خف الحال. قل أبويا أبويا شل مانعك ما جيت يوم لندهندينا. أبويا شل مانعك ما جيت يوم لنهدينا، لو ما سمعت أصواتنا يوم انتشينا. قل له يا حرة ما خفى حالك علينا. ليش ما جيت يا ابن حسن؟ قل له يا حرة ما خفى حالك علينا، لكن ايش بيدي رايد الله لك بهالحال. I'm your father, my dear. So she says, oh father, is that you? Why didn't you come earlier? I called you. We all called for you, for your help. You didn't come. Why didn't you come? He said, oh honey, it's not my hand. It's not in my hand. It's Allah's wish. بيت الدعاء وصلكم الدعاء. شو إلا بعد؟ بني زينب رد الخباب ري عليلك والخواتيم. وانت لوين تريد؟ انت وين رايح يا ابويا؟ انت لوين تريد؟ قالها الغريب انا ما اقدر ابات بكربلاء واسمع هالونين. انت ابو الايتام يا ابو الحسن، انت صاحب القلب الرحيم. انا ما اقدر ابات بكربلاء واسمع هالونين. ما اقدر اشوف حسين يتعفر بالرمال. ما اقدر اشوف حسين. انا رايح. اذا رايح يا ابو الحسن وصي بنا. ابويا علي وصي بي الله وروح يا منجي العذراء. ما تقدر تشوف حسين مرمي فوق غبراش، حال اللي شافت شمر صاعد فوق. صدرها هبر ونهاج وشال راسه فوق عالسقف. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. عظم الله أجوركم بمصاب أبي عبد الله حسين. صبر الله قلب إمامنا صاحب العصر والزمان. أنت صاحب العزاء. Allah, console him, Ya Allah. Protect him, Ya Allah. Hasten his appearance, Ya Allah. Grant us the honor to serve under his guidance. Allahumma protect our families and relatives from any mischief. Protect our kids. Help our youth to stay on the path of Abdullah Hussain, to be better than us, inshaAllah. Allahumma protect this community. Keep us strong and one in the name of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد